Well, hello, everyone. This is Mighty Stream. Today is May the 24th, and I am going to do the Just for the Day in a meditation with you. But first, I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I'm excited to be able to just get in here and actually do what I've been doing every day. I tell you what, in the um, aftermath of losing my mother-in-law, my dear mother-in-law, I am finding that my thinking is not as sharp as it was prior. And what I mean by that is just there has been this drain, right? There's been this drain on my energy, my thinking, my ability to move from A to B to C. And I have put some things in place, different alarms that I set so that I wake up and I do the same things, even getting the boys off to school. I set alarms. And one thing that I did not set an alarm with a note was to wake up and to do the Just for Today. So I'm very late, but I am very excited to be able to, at some point today, remember that this is something that you've enjoyed doing for over 2 months, and you need to get in here and do that. I just want to remind you that even with the reading today, May 24th, risking vulnerability, that we're humans being. So welcome to real life. The reading starts as we grow, we learn to overcome the tendency to run and hide from ourselves and our feelings. From the basic text, page 85. I have no idea what it's going to say, but I can say that I can already agree with it, right? Yes, absolutely. Let's read it. Rather than risking vulnerability, many of us have developed habits that keep others at a safe distance. These patterns of emotional isolation can give us the feeling we are hopelessly locked behind our mask. We used to take risk with our lives. Now we can take risk with our feelings. Through sharing with other addicts, we learned that we are not unique. We do not make ourselves unduly vulnerable simply by letting others know who we are, for we are in good company. And by working the 12 steps of the NA program, we grow and change. We no longer want or need to hide our emerging selves. We are offered the opportunity to shed the emotional camouflage we develop to survive our active addiction. By opening ourselves to others, we risk becoming vulnerable, but that risk is well worth the rewards. With the help of our sponsor and other recovering addicts, we learn how to express our feelings honestly and openly. In turn, we become nourished and encouraged by the unconditional love of our companions. As we practice spiritual principles, we find strength and freedom both in ourselves and in those around us. We are set free to be ourselves and to enjoy the company of our fellow addicts. Just for today, I will openly and honestly share with another recovering addict. I will risk becoming vulnerable and celebrate myself and my friendship with other NA members. I will grow. That's a beautiful Just for Today NA meditation. I feel like as I'm reading it, right? As I'm reading it, I am very much aware that I am simply reading it. I don't feel any connectedness to it. And that is a sign of grieving or a disconnect due to the loss that I have just suffered. And that's a part of just being honest and being vulnerable with you. Like I can read this and I can tell that there's not that usual spiritual connection to it. And maybe as I go through sorting it out with you, because I feel safe in this environment, I feel safe. We've spent all of this time for the last couple of months doing the Just for Today in a meditation with each other. So I feel safe to explore, what this means for me today. And I want you to feel safe to do the same. Risking vulnerability is not just staying safe, right? I don't have to stay safe in expressing how I feel. I have so many people that have genuinely expressed concern for me and my family. And so I know that people are there, but sometimes what happens is when a person loses someone they love, they can hear all of the prayers and well wishers, but there's something in themselves that is quite natural that they themselves are still trying to sort out or figure out where they're at with that loss. And that's where I'm at. Honestly, I'm just really trying to uh, make it right. She passed away on Sunday evening, May 22nd of 2022. And I am at the second day into this, trying to figure out my place in the world according to the hole that she leaves, right? As the family matriarch, she has to quite naturally, um, she doesn't have a choice, right? her absence in this physical world, her absence in this physical world quite naturally leaves a void to fill. And so for me, I'm looking at it in regards to my stepchildren and to the two boys that I'm raising as my sons who have parents, but I am filling the void of whatever the parents are going through. I'm filling those shoes right now. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, there is a lot that goes on that isn't spoken in the relationship of a mother and son. And I am, I've watched my husband's relationship to his mother, and he had such a um, openness with his mother. She allowed him to be who he was and to express who he was. He didn't have to go through a lot of antics in his verbiage. How he expressed himself wasn't as important to her as the fact that he was open to being who he truly is with her. And she did not put up a lot of barriers in their relationship. Sometimes I think if you're old school like me, which they would classify as somewhat of an old school, she died at 81 and he's in his late 50s. So sometimes you think that when we're dealing with our parents, there's certain ways that we need to behave to show respect. And I'm starting to wonder if that old way of doing things is just something that we created. uh, out of whatever, out of tradition. Because I would look at their relationship and I would say, oh, wow, he can speak like that. And she's not budged at all. She doesn't sway, she doesn't react. She's listening to the heart more than she's listening to the words that are coming out of his mouth. Because out of the heart's abundance, the mouth speaks. But how he expresses himself is not moving her negatively at all. And I'm thinking, oh, don't talk like that in front of your mom. But you know what? I am wondering if I have not gotten that wrong because I think there's a place for respect. But when we become adults, then now we're just an adult in a relationship with another adult that birthed us into the world. And the most beautiful expression of a healthy relationship, I believe, is that one would be able to be themselves. And so that's exactly what I sense is um, where my husband is or was with his mother. And it was such a beautiful, now that I look at it, a beautiful relationship. And when I am engaging with my own mother, that level of authenticity is very much obvious. And so I think that I am challenged today to look at the relationships I have with others. Look at the relationships I have with the boys that I call my sons, my stepsons, and my great nephews that I'm raising. And the relationship that I have with some of my nieces, but I need to avail myself to more of my nieces. I am challenged to allow them to be who they are and to make sure that they know, which I believe they do, right? But I'm looking at the intensity of my husband's relationship with his mother, and I feel challenged to be more embracing of individuals and where they're at. Um, and so I just want to say to you that I'm very introspective today. This may not have made sense to anyone, but it makes sense to me because I can honestly and openly share with other individuals. But a lot of times I put a cut on that because I'm worried about their perception of me. And a mother is like that other recovering person that we can truly be honest with and we can express ourselves to, and they still love us. And I want to be that sort of person to the individuals that I'm responsible to in the position of a mother, right? And so today is just one of those days that, I jump up and I think I'm going to be able to do this and do that. And then in the middle of whatever it is that I've set out to do, I find my energy is waning, my emotions are waning, my drive is waning. And I'll just give myself permission to relax, and so it's just one of those things that you go through, I believe, when you're suffering a loss like this. Um, my own mother is still very much alive. Um, and I don't know, I don't wish, I've watched several people go through losing their mothers. And some come out on the other end better than others. I believe my husband will be just fine. I believe that he is going to grieve, but I also believe that he is relieved because she suffered so much in her physical body, she suffered a lot. And so I think that he's just relieved. And now he has himself and his other younger brother. And that's it, right? He has his sons, he has me and my two boys. But as far as family, he has his dad to worry about, right? And he's a military, he's a vet. His dad is a vet. And I think that if he just makes a few health changes, he will be okay for maybe a decade or more longer, right? But I think that the blow of losing his wife is a big one. And so we're going to see in these next few months. I want to wish you the best in whatever you're doing, whoever you're memorializing. Next week, Monday, is going to be Memorial Day in the USA. And so whoever you're memorializing, I just want to say, give them the best that you can do in your circumstance. Honor them the best that you can within your circumstance, and all will be well. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Again, I didn't go back to the main screen, but it's okay, right? It's okay. I wish you the best, and I wish you the best in all that you undertake. My name is Mighty Stream. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Take care. Talk to you tomorrow now.